Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will start with our next topic, that is pharmacodynamics. Uh, so what is pharmacodynamics? We will start with its definition. So pharmacodynamics is basically defined as the study of biochemical and physiological effects of drugs and their mechanism of action. It is basically an aspect of pharmacology which deals with the action of drugs within the body. So it is concerned mainly with the interaction of drugs with their target sites. It is also concerned with the correlation between the pharmacological activity of a drug and the chemical structure of that particular drug. Pharmacodynamics is concerned with a number of things, in which the first point is the mechanism of action. We can define mechanism of action as a mean by which drug produces its pharmacological effect. During its action, it must be considered. You must keep this in your mind that a drug cannot impart a new function to the cell or any tissue, but it actually modulates the inherently possessed functions or the properties of the cells or the tissues concerned. So the pharmacological effects of most drugs results from their interaction with macromolecular components of the organisms, and these interactions basically alter the function of the components, and this alteration of the pertinent components actually initiate the biochemical and physiological changes, and these are the basically these changes are the characteristic response of a particular drug. So we can say that this is basically the detailed mechanism of action of a drug, that what does a drug actually do in the body, how it is performing its action. Here you can see that the drug, after reaching its site of concentration, produces pharmacological effect. So the clinical response, whether it is emerging in form of therapeutic effect or whether it is toxicity of that particular compound, these things basically fall under the definition of pharmacodynamics. So in pharmacodynamics, we will study about the dose response relationships. It is the relationship between the concentration of a drug and the magnitude of the drug effect that it produces in the experimental organism. We will also see correlation between the pharmacological activity of the drug and the chemical structure of that particular compound. And along with that, this pharmacodynamics basically provides the scientific basis for the selection and use of drugs to counteract specific pathophysiological mechanisms in a particular disease. So this is what all pharmacodynamics basically is all about. Drug actions are basically mediated in the body. We can classify them into two major phases, major parts. That drug actions mediated by receptors, and number two, drug actions not mediated by the receptors. So, talking about the first one, that is drug actions mediated by receptors. These are basically the specific actions. We call them as specific actions, and these are basically the actions that are produced by drugs when they interact with specific macromolecular components. And these macromolecular components are basically, they may be enzymes or they may be ion channels. We will see them in detail. So drug interactions with these macromolecules actually shows the structural activity relationship, and this structural activity relationship can be blocked by specific antagonists. So what are these macromolecules? These macromolecules may be receptors, these may be ion channels, these may be enzymes, or these may be carrier molecules. All of these are basically macromolecular structures, and a drug produces their action by interacting with any of these macromolecular structures. So what are receptors? Receptors are basically specific macromolecular components, and they are made up of proteins or glycoproteins. You must keep this in mind, that proteins or glycoproteins basically made up the receptors, and they are present on the membrane of the surface, number one, and also within the cells, to which they are also present within the cells. And if they are present in the cells, specific hormones, neurotransmitters, or some drugs combine with them to produce its physiological or pharmacological action. So receptors are the most important targets of the drug action in the body. Activation of a particular receptor by specific drug can lead to an initiation of the pharmacological effect, or inhibition of the receptors by some blockers stops the pharmacological effects. So along with this, there are some ion channel enzymes and carrier mediated molecules. They can also be indirectly activated or inhibited by the receptor mediated actions. So drug receptor interactions and their resultant effects, we will see them in detail a little bit after studying these basic types. If we talk about some examples of drugs which mediate their action through receptors, for example, there is adrenaline, atropine, morphine, and diazepam. These are some drugs which produce their actions by mediating with receptors inside the body. Second one is the ion channels. And what are ion channels? These are basically spaces, or we can say them as some pathways which are present in the cell membrane, and these allow free movement of certain ions like movement of sodium, potassium, calcium, chloride. So some drugs can modulate these ion channels. We are using the word modulation. Ion channels are present within the membrane. Some drugs basically modulate these ion channels. And how these ion channels are modulated? They are modulated directly or indirectly. By direct modulation, we means that by binding of a particular drug, binding of a drug directly to the part of channel protein. So in this case, the process of channel opening may be inhibited or facilitated by the drug. We will see a simple example. For example, there is a class of drug name is calcium channel blockers. Verapamil and diltiazem are some examples of this, or there are sodium channel blockers and chloride channel openers, for example diazepam. So there they mediate their action directly by binding with the ion channel. An indirect modulation of ion channel occurs through the interaction of drugs to specific receptors. By specific receptor, we mean this in this ion channels are fixed to a receptor directly, and we call them as ligand gated ion channel, or indirectly involving a G protein and other, it may be G protein or other intermediates. We will see them in types of receptor. So ion channel modulation by drugs acting directly or indirectly, it is one of the most important mechanism through which pharmacological effects are produced at cellular level. Third macromolecular structures are enzymes. Some of the drugs basically interact directly with specific enzymes, which and these enzymes basically what is their function? They catalyze some important biochemical and physiological processes within the body. So in most cases, drug behave as a substrate analog. Now the drug that we are administering, this drug act as a substrate analog, and this substrate analog act as inhibitor of specific enzymes. Either now this inhibition may be reversible. For example, if we talk about example, physostigmine is a drug that acts on choline esterase enzyme, right? It is a reversible action, or it may be irreversible action. For example, aspirin act on cyclooxygenase enzyme, it is a irreversible action. So we can say in some cases drugs behave as a false substrate and undergo chemical transformation by enzymes to form abnormal products. And these abnormal products basically subvert the normal metabolic pathways. The example, if we talk about example, antihypertensive drug alpha methyl dopa, very commonly used alpha methyl antihypertensive drugs. It mimics the action of noradrenaline precursor dopa, causing it basically what is the function of this drug? It causes noradrenaline to be partly replaced by a pseudo transmitter alpha noradrenaline, and the effect, and what is the effect? The fact is that it affects the function of the sympathetic nervous system. So these are the function of enzymes, which are the molecular structures. And fourth one was the carrier molecules. So what are the carriers? Are generally protein molecules, and they are transported, they transport ions or small organic molecules across the cell membranes. They are basically highly selective, and as they are highly selective in their type, or selective in types of molecules or ions that are allowed to cross through through the membrane. The carrier molecules are basically targets for certain drugs which interact with specific recognition sites on macromolecules and block the transport system. For example, antidepressant drugs, for example, imipramine, they basically blocks the reuptake of noradrenaline into the adrenergic presynaptic nerve terminals. Similarly, if we talk about hemicolinium, it blocks the choline carrier. So these are the examples of the drugs which act on carrier molecules. Now, as we have defined earlier, that drug actions are either mediated by receptors, and second part was that drug actions are also not mediated by receptors. So, if the action is not being mediated by the receptor, it means that it is the non-specific action. So, what are non-specific actions? Let us have a look on this particular topic. That a number of drugs do not act by virtue of combining with the functional cellular components or receptors. Their actions can be explained on the basis of their physical properties or chemical properties. Unlike drugs having specific actions, these drugs do not act on specific macromolecules. Obviously, they are not interacting with any substance, so they tend not to show structure-activity relationship. If they are not acting on a receptor, so it means that there is no link between their structure and the macromolecules, and it means that these drugs do not have any specific antagonists for them. So let us talk about the physical action of the drugs. That what is the physical action? Some drugs act by physical disposition in the body tissues and organs, and their mechanism of action is entirely due to their physical properties. Let us take some examples. The pharmacological action produced by the saline purgatives. Saline purgatives, for example, magnesium sulfate, and for example, if we talk about osmotic diuretics, mannitol, and if we talk about adsorbents like activated charcoal. So the action of these drugs are produced entirely due to their physical properties. There is no receptor involved in any of the examples that I have told you. Similarly, general anesthesia, if we talk about general anesthesia, it is produced by inhalant anesthetic like diethyl ether and halothane and chloroform. So we can also correlate them with some physical properties. And what is that physical property? The physical property of oil water partition coefficients of that particular drug. So these are some examples of the drugs which produces their actions by effects. uh, on the contrary, there is also some drugs that can produce their action by reacting chemically. So some drugs are the action of some drugs are entirely due to their chemical properties. And what these drugs do, they basically react extracellularly with endogenous substances, and these occurs according to basic simple reaction. For example, let us take an example of antacids. Antacids, we usually take these medicines after having some spicy meal. For example, these antacids contain aluminum hydroxide. They just neutralize the gastric acid. And opposite to that, acidifying agents, for example, ammonium chloride, and alkalinizing agents, for example, sodium bicarbonate, they react with buffers in the plasma, and they alter the pH of the urine. So we use them to eliminate some of the drugs from the body. And some of the drugs, germicidal drugs, and they basically produce their action by oxidizing properties. For example, potassium permanganate, and due to some of the germicidal actions are due to the reducing actions, for example, formaldehyde. And some there are some chelating agents which are basically used as an antidote to some toxins or heavy metals, for example, penicillamine and dimercaprolol. They also basically producing their action inside the body by chemical reaction.